Okay, I think we should get started. Should I get started now? I know there's still some folks in the lobby, but Pete, we good? Okay, very good. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mike Rinaldi, principal of Westhill High School. Welcome to Open House. Make some noise, please. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's an honor to be with you this evening, and I absolutely 100% always mean what I say. I am in my 8th year as principal of Westhill High School. I'm in my 38th year in the school district, and I went to Westhill High School. And it was at Westhill High School where I discovered I wanted to be a teacher. I volunteered with special ed students when I was here, and that put me on my course. So at this point in my career, at 38 years, you know, that's quite a ways, that's a journey. It's a fairy tale last part of the journey for me to be at Westhill. So it's a real pleasure to be with you this evening, and really appreciate your participation in Open House. So if you haven't already, we'll give you another 10 seconds to click that QR code, scan that QR code. It'll help you this evening. And let's go we'll wait a couple seconds and get to the next slide. You got it? It didn't work? Okay. All right, we'll come back. Maybe we'll come back to it. Let's go to the next slide, please. Okay, and then the next. All right, folks, I'm going to start by introducing you to our admin team. I am Mike Rinaldi, the principal. On the far left of the photograph, that is Mr. Johnny Ortiz. He is our new MTSS. Next to him is Mr. Cerrone, our athletic director, and next to Mr. Cerrone there is Mrs. Fabre, who has the hardest job tonight, keeping me on track and making sure I finish in time for you to get to your classes on time. And then next on my left is Miss Ovis. She is our senior administrator. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, Miss Fabre is our 10th grade administrator. Next to Miss Ovis is the smarter Mr. Rinaldi. He is our junior administrator this year. There he is, right over there. And next to Mr. Rinaldi is Mr. Aiello, who's probably coming in right about now somewhere. I don't know where he is, but he'll be here shortly. He is our freshman administrator. This is our administrative team, and quite honestly, there is nothing about this job that I would really be able to do successfully, except maybe an Instagram Live in the morning, without their assistance. That is 100% fact, and I am eternally grateful for their commitment to our school and their support of all the work that we do. Okay, next slide. So you probably have heard more than once, Westhill and proud. If you went to Westhill High School, you know that is our motto. That's what we say. And a few years ago, we decided to give some meaning to the acronym, and this is something we message students all the time. It's very much connected with school culture, and I'm just going to run that through with you very quickly and help you to understand. You might not be able to see it from where you are, but the P in PROUD stands for purposeful. That means if you are a Westhill Viking, you come to school on purpose every single day to get the job done and to do your very best. The R in PROUD stands for respectful. You respect the school. You respect each other, and most importantly, you respect yourselves. The O, which you see is larger in a different color, stands for on track. We'll get to that in a minute. The U stands for united. So no matter where you went to middle school, Turner River, Clunin, Schofield, whether you're new to Stanford, once you are here at Westhill, you're a Westhill Viking, and you are united. And you may or may not have seen on my Instagram page, I had the honor of hosting the class of 1974 here over last weekend, and that's what being a Viking is all about. They had their 50th reunion, and they wanted to tour the school, and I was with them for almost 3 hours. They wanted to see everything. It was great. And then the D in PROUD stands for driven. Not driven, not you're driving yourself crazy, but you're driven to succeed every single day. Now, back to the O. What does it mean to be on track? Here's what we know. When students enter high school, this isn't a Westhill thing. This is absolute fact. This is research-based fact. If students are in class, in school, 90% of the time, if they are passing 6 or more classes all the time, I don't even like mentioning that third one, because once you're in high school, the time for nonsense is over. So if students aren't getting in trouble, they're not suspended, and they have a GPA of 3.0 or better, that means they are on track to graduate on time, prepared for college or career. That's it. 100%. And so every day at Westhill, not every day, but as often as possible, we remind students that if you're a Viking, you are Westhill and proud, and that's what proud stands for. Okay, next slide. You may have heard this, and I'm going to give a shout out on this one. There's a book out about this. And it's now, gosh, the name of the book, Anxious Generation. And it's about the effect social media and cell phones have had on kids. And we now at Westhill and Stanford and really across the nation, many schools are enforcing much stricter policies with regard to cell phone use. Cell phones at Westhill High School are not permitted. There you go. Absolutely. Cell phones at Westhill are not permitted at all while you are in class. Period, end of story. You can access your phone between classes, you can access your phone during lunch, but you are not allowed to have it out at all. Period. Today, after school, a student, I forgot his last name, hold on. I know his first name, wait a minute. I took a screenshot of his little, there we go. This young man stopped me. I'm not quite sure I've ever had a conversation before. He said, Principal Rinaldi, I just want you to know, I'm not making this up, I just want you to know, I really appreciate the stricter cell phone policy at Westhill. So I said, what's your name, young man? And he told me. And I said, I have to speak to parents tonight. Can I give you a shout out by name? He said, yeah. And he said, my mom liked one of your, kind of ironic, I'm talking about social media. My mom likes your Instagram in the morning. I said, all right. So I'm going to shout you out by name. Yeah, where's his mom? There you go. He told you, right? So raise your hand. Where are you? So, Mom. There you go. Well, guess what, Mom? Because Harrison gave me a little bit more to talk about tonight, and I think he's representative of a lot of students. When we have our first Spirit Wear sale, I'm getting you a hoodie on me, okay? So you just have to tell Harrison to come see me. It's got small, medium, or large, purple, black, or gray. We'll talk about it. You can just DM me, but not during class, okay? Thank you. Thank you. All right, so that is the cell phone policy, and we appreciate your support, and I would say it's pretty obvious from the reaction that you appreciate our efforts to make sure kids are not on their phones during class. All right, next slide. Parent engagement, it doesn't matter. My wife teaches first grade. She taught kindergarten for years. This year she's teaching first grade. I've been a teacher and administrator over 38 years at every level. It does not matter how old your students are. Your engagement and the fact that you're here tonight communicates everything you need to communicate to your children about how much you value education and how important it is for them to do their very best while in school. Your engagement matters right up, quite honestly, through high school and then off to college as well. A little harder then. But you should definitely be doing the following. You should be connecting to PowerSchool and the parent portal to monitor your students' progress all the time. Students will use PowerSchool and Student Portal to monitor academic performance. Parents should provide updated contact information for teachers, school counselors, dean of students, and or grade level administrators so that you can get all of the fun emails and information on time, all the time. And I just remembered, I wanted to mention something else that we didn't put in the slides. I send out a Principal's Weekly message every Monday, and in this week's message I also linked to our revised attendance policy. And even if you don't know, trust me, you're going to want to clap on that one. Clap right now, actually. because the attendance policy was tweaked last year, and that wasn't good. So we tweaked it back, and attendance matters now, and if your children are going to be successful, let them know their principal said to you tonight they better be in class, because if they're not in class, if they're not coming to school, it's going to be difficult for them to pass and to do well in school. Okay, next slide. Yep.
Anybody needing help with Power School access, you can see one of our parent facilitators right in the front, in the main lobby.
Okay, so if you need, that's what Giselle was sitting there for. Right, so if you need help with Parent Portal, you're not knowing how to do that, she'll be there. Ms. Rogalina will be there all evening to help you get on so you can check your students' grades in the Parent Portal. Thank you very much, Ms. Fabre. Okay, listen, real quick. Westhill, well, actually Stanford Public Schools, Westhill in particular, has changed the game with these career pathways. And so it's not just about going to school and getting good grades. It's about discovering maybe things that you might be passionate about. And we have career pathways here now. We're going to show you just a short clip. You can go on our website or on the district website to learn more. But here's just a little bit of some of the pathways we have in Stanford. We're not going to be able to show this whole thing, but let's see some of it.
Manufacturing, anytime I ask people what they think manufacturing is, you usually get the same answer all around, but I usually go for the very casual answers. It's just making stuff.
The students in the Advanced Manufacturing Foundations course will learn some subtractive manufacturing techniques. Okay? They'll learn how to use a CNC machine. They'll learn how to use drills and grinders and things like this, printers, and design things. Build whatever you want.
So the exciting part of any manufacturing course is just getting to make things. Every course that you take in manufacturing is going to lead to you being a better machinist on the machines. And then that is where the fun really comes in any manufacturing course, is getting to be on the machines and make something from nothing.
In woodworking, they come to us without having had any experience using tools in real life situations. And after just a couple days, they're using the compound sliding miter saw to cut their own lumber. They're measuring with tape measures and marking out with pencils and speed squares or rafter squares. So we get them acclimated to the tools that they've never used before. In the construction course, we do a lot of projects as well. This spring we're building a plyo wall for the baseball team. Last year we built a chicken coop for the ag science program. So there are a lot of cool projects that we do with the two courses. Our partnership with the Carpenters Union is awesome. It's very unique. During the semester in the general construction class, we actually go up to their facility because, you know, their facility is set up to train carpenters, you know, to do specific things like electrical or framing knee walls and things like that.
We give young men and women the opportunity to put their hands on some projects, get some awareness about the industry and all the different tracks that you can take. Many people think of carpenters of building homes. What they don't realize is that we're in power plants, food distribution, we're in aerospace. The pre-apprenticeship is really designed around the 4-year apprenticeship program. So it's an opportunity for young men and women to see what it's like, get some instruction, understand some of the basic tenets and principles of the trade, and it prepares them to come into the apprenticeship program ready to get involved, to learn, to advance to the next level.
It's powerful for them because they are so proud of how the things that they put together, they built themselves, you know, and it might not be perfect, but it's their thing that they did.
Intro to Public Safety deals with, it's basically an introduction to fire, police, and EMS, and the world of fire, police, and EMS. So it really helps them to get a better understanding of what the job entails from day to day. Here in Stanford, we've been working with the police department, fire department, and EMS, and they are all on board wanting to give our students an opportunity to spend time behind the scenes, seeing what they're about.
Very informative. You learn a lot of things, especially when we have our field trips that give us experience. We also did get to learn about CPR.
It's really interesting because they were talking about like what do they do and how do they work on and what do they practice on in situations like that. It really got more interesting for me to join into that field.
I would definitely recommend taking this course because you definitely get immersed in many different aspects of each field.
Programs like this, and possibly leading into becoming a volunteer firefighter, gives a lot better idea of what firefighters do to give them a sense of whether or not it's something they really want to pursue.
The nice thing with EMS is that it's never the same every day. Every call is different. You meet so many different people. The amount of war veterans, Holocaust survivors, just people in general that you meet are amazing, and hearing their stories, but also being able to help them when they call because they're sick or injured.
This program is going to provide them with some inspiration, provide them with some knowledge, education that they would not have necessarily received.
If they continue to pursue a role in EMS, we'd like to set them up where they could do ride-alongs, where they're riding on the ambulance as a third wheel.
Come and do an observation shift. See it hands-on. It's not what you see on TV. It's definitely not an episode of Grey's Anatomy, but you get to see it hands-on in real life, and you make the decision if that's something that works well for you, or if, it might be a different area of public safety that you prefer.
Every day is something different. You come to work, when you leave, most of the time you feel as if you actually made a difference, you actually helped somebody.
Cool.
So we're gonna stop it there because we want to make sure we get you out of here on time. And when it's time to dismiss, you got to move quickly to your class. I encourage you, please go on the website, check out all the videos. It was at Westhill I told you that I discovered I wanted to be a teacher, but that was by accident. And so we have to do all we can to encourage students to take a look at the program of study, see what's being offered, joining different clubs and activities, and that will help them determine, maybe it will help them to determine what they want to do after high school. So please check that out. All right, this is your schedule for this evening. And you know that you have to be in your first class, would be period 1 on A day. It's going to start at 6:28. So when I dismiss you in just a few minutes, you'll have 8 minutes to get to your class. It's okay if you don't know exactly how to get there. We have plenty of people in the hallways to help you. And if you have your children with you, they can help you get to class. And you will meet all the teachers, all your children's teachers. Go to the next slide. It's a little odd to be talking about social media when we just celebrated the no cell phone policy. But the fact of the matter is, social media is the way you get information to kids more effectively than anything else, really. We have, for all of our clubs, sports teams, and activities, they all have social media pages. I try to repost on my story all of the important information about games, about clubs, about fundraisers, and that's what we use more and more than anything else now. So if you are so inclined, you want to get on at least 3 very robust social media Instagram pages here at Westhill. So I'll start at the bottom. Westhill Athletics, so all things sports related is at Westhill Athletics. School counselors, our school counselors are at Westhill Counselor, very important information. And then I am on Westhill _ principal every day. So you can check that out as well. In closing, before you leave, I want to say just another couple of things to you, and I'll try to keep it very brief. My son is here, and he is now a senior. And it is a trippy place to be. We only have one child. It is a really wild place to be at the end of the journey, so to speak, as a parent through, public school. And it's a little emotional. I get it. And for years as a teacher and for years as an administrator, I thought I got it. But not until we had my own child. And so I want you to know that the commitment that we have as an administrative team truly is the same commitment we have for our own children, right? And I know that you are entrusting us with their safety and their well-being, but I want you to also know that we do everything we can to help them to feel good about being here. We want them to be involved in activities. And we had an activities fair the other day. Mr. Ortiz put on a wonderful activities fair. We want them to make the most out of their high school experience beyond doing the best they can academically, so that in 50 years, when they are at that place in their life, they'll look back at their experience and feel that pride, that Westhill and proud pride, like the class of 1974 that I met with this week. And so please help us encourage them to really get involved. It makes all the difference in the world. I really super appreciate you being here this evening. Now, off you go. Go to class. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night. Thank you.